round 4 of the 2004 Extreme 600 season. We're here in Italy, doing a track in Tuscany. This track I know is very fast. This is almost guaranteed to be my first 10-lap race. Andalusia in Spain should have been a 10-lap race because that track it takes about 40 seconds to do a lap. This one I think takes even less, even though the AI managed to set a really long lap time. One-shot qualifying to decide how many laps the race will be. This is less about deciding my grid position and more deciding about the race length, because if I set a lap that's under a minute in qualifying, then I'll double the race length from 5 to 10 laps. But I'm pretty much guaranteed the pole position every time because the AI is so slow in qualifying. Very careful because this track is so fast. If you clip a wall, then you're done for. Get out of the way of these guys trying to set their laps, although they're probably going to end up starting at the back anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Personal best time on Tuscany of 50 seconds, which means we go into options and we up the lap count to 10. Maybe I should do 10 laps on normal length tracks and then 15 on short tracks. I'll do that when I move up a class to the 1000s. So, Nishikawa qualified second, Mueller third. Oda, my championship rival, is all the way down in fourth. Then it's Doyle, who had a massive crash last week. Lawton, Montez, Tarat, Farino. Farino and Courtside have finally swapped position, so there is a little bit of variety at the back of the field. Not too much, mind you, but a little bit. We wait for the lights to go out. Away we go for 10 laps here in Tuscany. Again, I've easily gotten away from the line in first. Apparently I've got my the amount of revs I want to start each race with down perfectly, because on this game, if you try to just hold the throttle all the way down, you will just sit there and wheel spin. Oda has gone up my inside after a fairly poor turn 1. And this track is based a lot on top speed, which, as we've seen more recently, my bike doesn't really have, although I have put a lot of my credits into upgrading my top speed. It's not doing me a lot of good here, as Oda is just managing to ride along my front wheel on the straights, and then pulling out something of a gap in the corners, which I wouldn't have expected, given the qualifying times. I still can't catch up. My bike tops out at 166. It's trying to get to 167, but it's just not good enough to yet. Well, you can never have a relaxing race on a street circuit, and this is certainly no different as Oda becomes more and more of a speck in the distance rather than a bike. I can catch up coming out of that really fast corner, but as soon as we get into the ones that I have to brake for, he pulls out a little bit of a gap, although I have taken a much faster line through there than him. Just stay away from the walls, up the inside, dab on the brakes to avoid smacking into something, and I've taken the lead. We're neck and neck coming up the hill, and he just managed to get past me. I'm not sure what I'm going to have to do to keep ahead. Dive it down the inside. Hasn't worked out. He's got the cutback, which might have expected. That wasn't a particularly good move. We'll try and catch up to him. Keep it flat through there. Pass him as we go under the bridge. It's the slow corners where the AI seems to be strong here. So if I can hold it through the tunnel corner, which I have, I'm still in the lead. I'm pulling out a little bit, but fuck. Just as I got into the lead, I managed to go down. Well, I guess that's a risky run of riding on street circuits at speeds like this with all this motion blur going on. I can't really tell where the walls are. Well, if I couldn't catch up to Oda before, I'm certainly not going to be able to catch up to him now, as we're just under half race distance. Although I can probably pass all these back markers at least, as Farino for some reason is all the way down. There's a really long gap here from Farino to the next guy in the field, courtside, and Farino has just taken me out. Same place I went down last week, last lap, and Farino has helped me do it again. So this could end up being my worst result of the season so far, even worse in Africa. Which sucks, because the last time we went to a short track, was Andalusia, I won that hands down. So I'm coming off my, I'm not going to get to 3 wins in a row. Although I am going to have to try and get some points. I can't remember where the points go down to, but I'm going to guess that 5th place gets them. Although, okay, well, this is really turned shitty. I'm not sure what's going on, but I just can't hold it together down here at the bottom end of the track. That's been 3 laps in a row I've managed to fall now, as we head on to lap 6, and the AI are just disappearing off into the lead. To be honest, my seed is probably going to go up another level after this race because of this poor performance, rather than just staying the same. Although I've got a whole season to deal with these issues, so I'll do my best to keep up. You know, I'm not gonna hit restart, I'm just gonna keep riding, and hopefully we can make the deficit up on points. Although me and Oda are even on points, were even on points going into this round. I think he's still leading the race, so if I score nothing and he scores another 25, I'm gonna be stuck on 50. He's gonna go up to 75, obviously, which isn't very good for my championship. But we are only, I say only, we are only 4 rounds in, so it's not a massive, massive loss, but it's still a loss that I kind of didn't want to take. I wasn't anticipating a showing like this coming into this weekend, but we've managed to pull one off. And I mean, at this point I can't even keep up with Farino, the back marker, to end all back markers. Man, extending this race out to 10 laps has made it fucking painful, especially after I had 3 crashes in as many laps. It's just not the. It's a nightmare race, this one here in Italy. And if I can not fall again, just doing my best to keep it out of the walls now. It's all I can do to finish the race at this point, and I'm not even going to get any points. So maybe extending out the short tracks to 10 laps was a bad idea. You know. I've really got nothing to say. I'm so mad at myself for the absolute shit show of a performance I managed to put on here. That I'm very glad that the laps are so short that now we're on the last one. I don't really have to think about anything. I can just sort of limp to the finish line in shame, and hope that the game doesn't punish me too much by bringing my seed back up. I'm really going to be pushing hard next week, that's for sure, trying to make up for it. If I even can make up for it. Oops. I accidentally started drifting. That's not a very fast way to take a corner, but it does help you tighten up your line. Does drifting in this game. Well, a very, very disappointing showing here in Tuscany. as Oda takes a win, Nishikawa in 4th. Yeah, it's just like I said. At least I've held on to 2nd place in the championship. But that doesn't really mean anything when I'm going for a win. So we'll end this week here. Really poor. Truly very poor. Although I've set a new personal best time. My seed is still on 98, so luckily it hasn't punished me by taking away. Next week we're going to Spain again for round 5. Heading to Barcelona this time.